Hello, I hope you're having a great day. So I came out early this morning and I lifted all of my fabric off of the plants. It is supposed to be a really windy day today until 6 o'clock tonight. It's only 36 degrees right now, but it does get up to 50 by noon and I think 55 tonight. I will have to come back out probably and drop it. I think it gets down to 34 tonight. But yesterday was a horrific day. It's like every gardener's worst nightmare. The wind was just gusting. Like, I had to come out and retie this down and find a couple methods to keep it down. And then the rain was horrid, but I came out, I put these up, and I think my plants are looking good. I cannot believe after we weeded this entire row and I put all new plants in it, the weeds, they're already growing after being chopped off by the head. But I think the lazy anthers are still looking really good. It makes me excited. And now they're gonna get some sun. I just hope they're not getting too much water. I mean, it's just been, I watered them for 3 days and now it's just raining on them. I'm hoping this wind actually dries them out a bit, but I think they're looking happy. They go all the way down the row. So I think they're looking good. They don't look like they have any frostbite. My tulips are getting, I've picked a ton of them. And these, I think I could actually pick these, but I'm waiting for just a little more color right here. Let me see. Like, they're really close. They'd probably be good. They just take longer to open up. And I actually want to make some bouquets on Wednesday, so I thought, why not let them open up out here? They'll do better opening up in the sun than they will in the cooler. Let me see if I can find one that's getting close, though. Like, I'm shading it. So if you look at that one and that one, you can kind of see this one is getting a little more color here. It has a tip of color here, but I really like, let's see, like this one. This one's starting to actually kind of open up a little bit, and it has color. So that one's definitely pickable. I'm just looking right now, so I'm not picking. Okay, here's a good example. Like that one is probably pickable because it's getting a lot more pink in the leaves than the others. And I don't know, I mean, oh, here's a good one. See how pink that leaf is? If I don't shade it all out. It's getting really pink, but it hasn't quite opened. That one would be perfect. I would put that one in the cooler. I just found last year that those opened up quicker when I was ready to use them and they looked really good. The other ones sometimes took 2 or 3 days, and sometimes I didn't have 2 or 3 days. But maybe the other ones would last longer in the cooler if I was storing them for like 2 or 3 months. So I did pick some in an earlier stage to test them because I do want to know for the future. Because, yeah, I mean, I might be able to use tulips with peonies and make like really rockin' bouquets later on in the season when other stuff starts to pop. But my snapdragons are looking really good. I don't think this cold weather is quite killing them yet. Some of them even look like they've shot up in height a little bit. So those are looking good. Hopefully after all that wind and rain, this sunlight and wind today, I hope the wind's not too strong and I hope it helps them a little bit. But on today's agenda, I had a note to direct seed bachelor buttons in the field. So you can see here, I'm going to show you, this is kind of the bachelor buttons patch I've been working on the last couple years. It's filling in really nice. This is what I do. I like anything that just keeps coming back, I just try to fill in the holes until I have a full row of it. And you know, some of the holes just don't take, and then the next year I put some more in, and I think eventually I'll just have a good little chunk. So here are my bachelor buttons. So they go up this row. They're a lot thicker at the top, and then of course there's some everywhere because they just seed themselves everywhere. So I could dig that one up and stick it over in one of these holes. I might, but up here they're a lot thicker. But you can see I have quite a few just like empty holes. Like there's just nothing coming up in some of these. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stick a seed in the hole, or maybe 2 or 3. And I'll just throw some seeds in there. It's supposed to rain this week, and see if they come up. I'll probably, it's so muddy today, I might water them in, but I might just stick the seeds in the hole and let the rain do the rest of the work. I might dig up some random ones that are already big plants. I don't know. I could, and fill in the holes and just try to get this section. And then I also had a note on my calendar to start veronicastrum, which I think is like Culver's root, but I didn't have a place marked out for it on my map, so I was thinking of where to start it. And I was just gonna try, I could either start it in my basement under grow lights, or I could sprinkle some seeds out here. It's a perennial here in zone 5. So that's kind of what I'm up to today. I think I'll get those bachelor button seeds in, and if I get a chance, maybe weed a couple more rows. So plenty of things to do today, and I think I'm just gonna probably get started. Like, look at this bachelor's button just growing. Wild. And honestly, like, I really do like a bachelor's buttons, but they are a pain to clean. But they are really cute. There's like little pops of color and all of this stuff. It looks like I have a few weeds here, so I'll get that done and move on to the next project. I'm gonna let the sun shine on these tulips a little while, and maybe I'll get to picking a bucket of those too. Yay, now that that's done, I just have the veronicastrum, and I need to figure out where I even want to put it. But I thought I would show you really quick. The red buds are blooming. Yay! And remember how I was worried that maybe my peonies weren't coming up? Let me show you. They are coming up, so they're looking really good. We'll start at the top over here. They're looking weedy. I need to do that still. Go through and weed them all. But oh, my landscape fabric's moved. But here, I'll just take you down a row, or maybe I can even show you. Like, this is the top of the row, so there's a peony. One got all the landscape fabric. This one's a peony. And then these are just little late ones. But if I go down the rows, I mean, it just looks like almost every hole is coming up. Last year I had a few holes. I think I just had 3 or 4 holes that didn't have peonies, but there are so many more stems this year. Like, look at this grouping. Oh, I'm getting so excited. But it's looking like every single hole all of the holes have taken so far. There's one, but actually there is a little bud in there. That peony root looks like it completely came out of the ground. Maybe I should put some mulch or something over that one. But look at them. So maybe 9 or 10. And last year I know I only had 3, but maybe they'll still pop up. Some of them are just coming. So we'll see how they do. But as dry and horrible as it was last year, even if I lost another 7 out of 140, that's not too bad. And I can always go get 7 more roots and fill the holes so that the rows are full of peonies. So that's really exciting. I'm happy about that. Yay! There's my little lupine row I weeded the other day. I forgot to show you an after. But as you can see, if you get way down here, there's tiny little lupine. in a lot of the holes. I think they look about like that when they come up. But there are quite a few little lupine coming up. And then the bigger ones that were there last year are at the end of the field. I have a lot of salvia coming back, it looks like. And then my yarrow row looks really good. I don't think I have very many empty holes at all, and I have 140 plants. But I might have, you know, in a 150-foot row by 4 foot, I mean, that's thousands. I might have 140 holes that are empty. But I'm not real sure I do. And if I don't, that's okay. I might start putting yarrow somewhere else out here. So, yay! And the little blue sea holly is coming up. I think that's what's... So I planted a bunch, I direct sowed a bunch of blue sea holly last year, and it never came up. I never saw it. And this year, the section that I have the tag blue sea holly is full of these plants. So I think I might have a lot of blue sea holly this year. That's awesome. And then my allium and my daffodil, little hill in the ditch, is coming up. Oh, looks like I need to come pick some daffodils. That one looks like it's at gooseneck stage. Those plants are looking really good after the rain. They got huge. They were looking pretty dry and sad, but that rain really helped. And then this little section, I believe, maybe not all of it. I thought this was my daisies, but it might just be some weeds in there too. Let's see. Yep. The purple cone flowers are coming up after that rain. Look at them all. Yeah, it looks like I might have a few holes at this end of empty where the yarrow should be. I might have also made that a walkway so I could get through here. But here is the delphinium and the larkspur. So I think I overseeded. But it is thick and full. I might need to thin this out. I don't know. Or just let it go for it and see which plant takes over. So the Imperial Choice looks really good. Like all the rows are full. And then I come up here to this Canes mix and like nothing. Like maybe one or two. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I seeded them all the same way, and the Imperial Choice mix is just, I mean, it is abundant. And then the Canes mix, like every hole is empty. And here's another one. Every hole is empty. And the Bellamosum. So I don't know why. I mean, I heavily seeded all of it. So I don't know why those just didn't perform. Or they didn't like being direct seeded in the fall. It's so exciting, you guys, to see all the life coming back. It's a lot of weeds too. The weeds survive no matter what. But look, here's a bunch of the lupine coming back. And as you see, there's a lot of empty holes in between plants. This stuff is just hard to grow. But as you see, I do have quite a few plants. I mean, there's a lot of plants. And hopefully over time I can just fill it in and get rows of this stuff. That's the plan anyway. Okay, so that's kind of a mini garden of what's going on right now. My lavender's starting to green up. It's all gray and looks so dead, but it's not dead. This is how it looks every year, but do you see this right here? That's green, which means it's alive. I think last year my lavender didn't even really green up until around May. But look how dead it looks. I mean, that's gonna be a task. It's getting all of these weeded. These are actually pretty easy to weed because there's only 30 to 40 holes. I think it's 35 holes in each row compared to, you know, thousands of holes in each row. So those should go pretty fast. I should be able to get those weeded. I'll get some stuff done. That lupine took forever because it's a bunch of tiny holes everywhere. And thank God for the yarrow, it's just filling in. There's not many weeds. So in the salvia row and the yarrow row, not many weeds at all. I'm considering taking out most of the black in those two rows in this winter and just letting them grow together. If I need to, I could always just mow a row down the yarrow for a walkway and let the rest of it grow. So exciting stuff. It's coming together. Now if we can just have a good season. Oh yeah. And my favorites. Look at these. Aren't they so pretty? The bees love these too. That old one has barely got some buds on it. That's the oldest one I think we have out here. Unless maybe there's one over there that might be older, but that one's not looking too good anymore. But these are sure looking good. And there's one all the way down there in the ditch. It was just a tiny one and it's getting bigger, so a lot of the red buds are popping up around the farm. I'm gonna collect some red bud seed and try to start a tray of red buds. I don't know, I always have all these grand plans, but it'd be nice someday to take this fence out. Not yet, but and if I filled it with like red buds and then bushes that I could like cut and get foliage off of, it would create kind of a natural fence that I could also use to cut off of, and it would look really pretty. So it's one of those ideas floating around in my head anyway. See how much time I can dedicate to get all this stuff done. So exciting. But anyway, I think I am going to fill some buckets with water, run to town and get some of that foliage, because Wednesday I do want to make some bouquets. I won't be able to fulfill all my spring, so there's going to be a first round for my spring subscriptions. And I'm going to do as many as I can this Wednesday, and then I'll go and start the rest of them the following Wednesday. And then eventually they might get on the same schedule, but I just want to get them the flowers as soon as I can so that they last a long time and they enjoy them. And I say like every other week, but when I deliver these, I'll probably tell them it might be 2 weeks until your next bouquet because the tulips came early. And most people are really nice and understanding, and they're just happy to get some of the first flowers. So that's what I'm doing today on the flower farm. It's a freezing but glorious day to see all this life. That rain really made everything come to life, including the grass. I'm probably gonna have to get my lawnmower going and give it a good mow. Okay, so It's been a very productive day. I was weeding. I didn't figure anyone really wanted to watch me weed, but I remember showing the peonies earlier this morning, and now look, they're all weed free. So I just pulled out the weeds and kind of threw them in the middle, all the way down. And then I did this row, and this row, and then I did all of the lavender. Oop, I missed a weed. It's growing on that log. And then I did all of the lavender rows except for this big mess. So this is my patch of lavender where if any of the holes have dead lavender, which I did find a few dead lavenders, I'm going to dig it out of here this spring because I tried it in the fall and it didn't work. They all died. So last spring I filled in a bunch of them and it worked. So I'm going to dig them out of here, and then I'm going to slowly try to make this row look like all the others. That was, if you haven't been following me, I had planted my lavender way too close and I just had one big row, and I decided to split it up and put it the correct length apart, and I just have been stealing from this patch, and I'm almost to the end. But this lavender does look really good. That was really close together, so I might not have needed to do it, but I think someday this will look really cool if all these lavender rows are filled in and then the lavender gets as big as it's supposed to. It should be a nice little hedge of lavender going down each of these rows. So, and then of course yesterday I did the lupine row, so I only have 1, 2, 3, about 4 rows left, and the yarrow row won't be hard at all. So almost done with the perennial field. Round 1 of weeding. I feel like I had 1,000,000 rounds of weeding last year and then it still got away from me. So I was kind of wondering if I shouldn't go around the peonies and not up to the peony plant, but just like in the hole. I'll show you what I'm talking about, but like I burnt the holes bigger so that the peony plants could grow. So see, so that's a lot of open dirt. So I was thinking of maybe if I came in and mulched it, but like left around, just right around the peony root bare, then as it grew it could come up through the mulch and I could kind of sweep it away. But it might help with the weed pressure this year, and that would be awesome if it helped with the weed pressure and I didn't have to like weed these rows all the time, because that is a big task. But I almost have this initial 1/4 acre of my perennial field weeded. What a glorious feeling. And then I did pick some more tulips. They popped. I've been picking tulips. I picked them 3 times already today, and it's just now 4:30. So there'll probably be more to pick before the sun goes down. And I also want to put my fabric down before the sun goes down. So we will see, but it's been a productive day. I just have a few more rows to weed, and then hopefully the wind dies down and I can put some landscape fabric on that new tilled dirt up there. And I might cover some of these rows that have been weeded. Like I know I'm not going to plant them for another 3 or 4 weeks, so I might roll something out and just hold it down with the wood, just so hopefully the weeds don't come back until I plant it. That would be nice, because I don't want to just weed every day. Who does, right? But anyway, that's what I was up to on the flower farm today. I know it's a short video, I didn't get a lot of footage, but nobody really likes weeds or weeding, so I didn't think that'd be that much fun to watch. Oh my gosh though, I love looking down this row and seeing all these peonies. It'll be exciting to see what they do this year. I can't wait until it's the year where they're super productive and I have so many peonies I don't even know what to do with them. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I hope you're having a great day.